Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. First of all, I must apologize for the lack of closed captions, subtitles in a video I uploaded yesterday. Something weird going on and nothing I can do about it. It's just processing, and weird things do happen with YouTube from time to time. I try not to get too tinfoil hatty about it when it does happen. Yeah, it was about tax returns and the Bidens, that video. But anyway, I'm not getting tinfoil hatty. There are glitches. It is Mercury retrograde. And unfortunately, as I say, nothing I can do about it. I'll keep an eye on it today. If it happens again today, it happens. The captions are done automatically. It's not me who does it. YouTube does it. If they don't seem to be working after a few hours, I will take down the videos and try and sort it out manually today. So that's that. Apologies again. We're into the tarot now with the Urban Tarot on the tarot table, and that is because we're in New York. And no, we're not at that interview, the New York Times book deal or whatever it was, Salinas, when he was banging on Harry about being the hero of the moment and holding the media accountable. We don't care about that. What we care about is a rumor from TMZ, and it was a week or so ago, and this claims that Harry, after he left Montecito for those solo trips to New York and then the UK and then South Africa and Lesotho, after he did that, and that was in mid-September, he never went home, never went back to Montecito. Instead, according to TMZ, he's holed up in his father's $6 million condo in New York City. He's basically living in New York City. That's according to TMZ. So there's some people getting quite agitated about the fact that it might be that $6 million property that was bought in the name of the king in right of Canada. And that property is for the Canadian consul, his or her, I don't know who it is, official residence. Some people are speculating that Harry might be holed up there and the Canadians might be implicated yet again. They've provided a safe haven for the has-been before, of course, until the people got wise to the fact that they were paying for has-been security and herself as well, and tossed them out of the country. One of the finer moments of people power, in my opinion. We're going to have a look at this today because people are commenting on the irony, if irony is the right word, of Harry feeling that he's safe in New York and not safe in the UK. And of course, in New York, someone has just been assassinated. CEO of a large company has just been assassinated on the streets of New York. Crime is spiraling. And of course, the Parkles had that near catastrophic car chase in New York. So how can he square that one? He was very loud in this interview about how he's not safe and he'll never go back to the UK because of the security thing, and they took his security away deliberately, and he's found out through the means of discovery that, it's all so shady and it's all so wrong, and he's going to be vindicated eventually. Yeah, well, that's maybe what your lawyer tells you, or your wife, or your mother-in-law, whoever might be telling you these things. Let's get to it. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look if Harry is really living in New York and why. If Dad is really putting a roof over his head and why. Charles has many properties in New York. He has an extensive property portfolio in New York, which he inherited from his mother. So, and that's not allegedly, that is fact. So it doesn't have to be that particular condo, just saying. Then we're going to ask about security. The irony, has the irony occurred to him that New York might actually be more dangerous than Windsor or wherever, Althorpe? And who's paying for the security? I'm going to ask that question. His security in New York is his best friend and only friend, that ex-Met guy, Royal Protection Officer, is that the guy? What's going on with security? We're going to ask that question. And we're going to ask, is this part of the Bring Has Been Home campaign, or at least bring him back into the fold? There are rumours too that the King is paying for Andrew to carry on at Royal Lodge, so it might be part of that sort of take pity on the useless ones in the family and provide for them while the King still can. High Priestess, secrets. Secrets, secrets, secrets. Secrets and mysteries. So it's supposed to be a secret. I don't know how they're going to keep that a secret. But anyway, there it is. We're not going to mention the children and not seeing the children, because we have mentioned that very recently, just by the way. It's not that it's not here in my mind. I'm pointing at my brain, what's left of my brain. But not for today. Mysteries, secrets. I'm getting a bit of a hiding energy or escapism energy from that card, just because of the way that this particular tarot has done the artwork for the High Priestess. So some escapism. I wonder what he could be running away from, or who. But that's just me and my bit of snark, and I forgot to tell you that it's all snark here because it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. We just read energy here, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. I got carried away with all of the excitement of has been being in New York. Ooh, we've got the Emperor in reverse as the story that we are dealing with. That's the King. The Emperor, oh my, and there's the United Nations. Right there, New York has showed up. How amazing is that? Truly. Well, we're obviously using this tarot deck, which is set in New York, so duh. That's why I chose it, the Urban Tarot. But still, we have a king. The King's in reverse, which might mean that the King is doing something that he doesn't want us to know about, the High Priestess. Cards in the reverse. You have to work your way to some meanings for them sometimes, and that's what's coming through for me energetically. So let's look at Harry. Is Harry holed up in a condo in New York as his new home, basically hiding, maybe running away, escaping? We've got the Six of Pentacles. It's called Success here. It's charity card, sharing. Really, a charity is what's coming through. And it's interesting that the charity card should show up, because he's been doing a lot of, dare I use the grifting word, of charities like Centre Bali, Invictus, the Well Child, Scotty's Little Soldiers. He's been exploiting all of those. Madame has jumped on the bandwagon now with SmartWorks, who were having their Christmas party, and she sort of inserted herself or insinuated herself into that Christmas celebration. So she's remembered that she's patron of SmartWorks in the UK, still hasn't mentioned them for years. But oh my, Catherine's at back in royal life and doing a Christmas concert, and the Beckhams are at a state banquet. Hello, here I am with a rather lame poem for people to think how profound she is. That was a little bit of a side track from the Six of Pentacles, the Success card. I think he's there to hustle for his charities, to try and make himself look important. And I'm Mr. Charitable, I'm Mr. Humanitarian. I hang out with all these fancy people that he was hanging out with back in September when he was in New York. Centre Bali is, of course, being registered in the United States. So this is his base. This is his base. I think so. I think that's quite a firm yes from the tarot. Why? We've already got a bit of an answer in the Six of Pentacles, the charity card, the do good card, be seen to be doing good, which is not how charity is supposed to work. But never mind that. This is the Parkle version of charity. You have to be seen to be doing charitable works in order for it to qualify as charity, in my opinion. Why is he holed up in that condo? if he is allegedly. Six of Cups. Ooh, we've got a card of a sort of hedonistic energy. 2 sixes here, interesting. And we hope there isn't a third on the tarot table, and that's just me being snarky, by the way. But sixes are about harmony. Love as well, they can be, but harmony. This is about pleasure, it says. This is a very modern, quite woke spin, this particular tarot deck. Oh, and here comes Fluffy. Fluffy's come to visit. She's emerged from the undergrowth where she's been sleeping all day. It's very hot. And so the Six of Cups normally is the past and happy memories and hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And he is really. He's schmoozing with all those famous people, ex-presidents, sports stars, this thing and that thing. So he's probably having quite a good time there. I'm not getting need to run away from herself, but we've got that energy as our underlying energy. So tarot is very seldom redundant unless it really wants to drive home a point and I'm being a bit obtuse and not realizing what it wants to tell me, which happens. So I think he's there to hang out with friends, have some indulgences, live the good life away from the critical eye of herself, and just catch up with old mates. It's easier for old mates to fly to New York from the UK than it is for them to fly. Oh, scratching the furniture, Fluffy wants attention. Than it is for them to fly all the way to LA to see him and then risk having to see her as well. So it's almost like a halfway house that he's kind of going back in the direction of the UK, but not landing in the UK. My opinion. Let's look at the King. Is the King providing a roof for the has-been, whether that particular property, the Canadian property, or any other? And I've got, it's called the Journalist, the Prince of Wands. It's in reverse, and this tarot for me is quite confusing because the prince and princesses sometimes look like pages and sometimes look like sometimes look like knights. I've gone blank, and so I'm just going to check. The Prince of Wands is the Knight. There we go. The Knight. I sometimes get it wrong when I read this tarot and thinks it's the page. It's not that, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but the Prince of Wands is Harry. Very often he shows up as the Knight of Wands in normal tarot, as the erratic one, the one that comes and goes. The Knight of Wands, interestingly, one of its many meanings is moving, and it can be moving home. If it shows up in a normal person's tarot, it can be you're looking to move. You might even be looking to move overseas or something like that, or start traveling or have new adventures. It's that kind of energy. It's in reverse. So it's somebody who might have had to move out of their house. That's my spin or my interpretation of that card. And Fluffy is giving me a little bit of a tap on the ankle to remind me that I need to feed her. So why is the King doing this? It looks like he is doing this. It looks like he's doing it in a clandestine way. High Priestess, Emperor, King energy in reverse. So it looks clandestine. Why is he doing this? And he's doing this because of, it's called change. Not really for me. The Two of Pentacles is more about priorities, and trying to balance things out by giving a bit here and a bit there. It's telling me a strange story. So I'm going to tell you the strange story and you make up your minds about it. It's telling me that the has-been might have been complaining that, oh, William got Anima and now has got Adelaide Cottage and has got vast apartment at Kensington Palace, and one day is going to get Windsor Castle, Sandringham, Balmoral, has already got the Duchy of Cornwall, and what about me? What about me? Oh, well, here, darling boy, here's your $6 million condo in New York. It's giving me that vibe. It's not giving me Operation Rescue the Has-Been, get him away from the clutches of herself. It's more like feeling guilty. I've given one son a whole bunch of stuff, need to give the other one a bunch of stuff. It bears no relation to the artwork on this card, my take on this thing. It's about balance. It's about walking the tightrope. The king walking the tightrope between his two sons. The one son adamant that he's not going to let the has-been back. The has-been irate that William is the pampered one, the spoilt one, getting all these extra things. And there has been just to spare bread for his organs and to donate body parts in case. We know, we heard all of that in spare. Okay. Tell us about the security conundrum, where it might actually be more dangerous for Harry in New York, based on his own prior experience with a near catastrophic car chase. Does that enter into the equation with him? Does he see that this might be a little bit off or a little bit strange when he's trying to justify why he can't possibly go back to the UK? Does it enter his head at all? What do we get? Oh, we've got the 5 of Swords card. The defeat card. Yes, defeat, absolutely. It's struggle, it's fighting, conflict, somebody losing, somebody being a sore loser as well. And the defeat card can be your own inner conflict. It doesn't have to be fighting with other people. It can be fighting with yourself. And I think that is the angle that tarot is pointing me in. That he really is conflicted about this, because how do you justify it? Living in New York, which it looks like, according to the energy of these cards, he could be. Just saying, speculating. It looks quite plausible that TMZ is onto something here. And he sure is popping up a lot in New York at the moment. And not in Montecito, even for Tyler Perry's What's City thing yesterday. So he might just be wrestling with this thing, that it might not really sound that convincing even to him, that it's not safe in the UK and it's so safe, well, in the United States. Who's paying for security? I think that's a question that lots of people want to know. Is it the king? Is it the has-been? Is it the Canadians? Again, who's paying? The rock star. And we have the Knight of Wands, and here we have the actual Knight of Wands. It's a very odd tarot, this, and it always trips me up. We have a Knight of Wands and a Knight of Wands. Don't know. I've looked in the book. So, I have looked in the book. Who's paying? We get the Knight of Wands again. It's Harry energy again. I don't think it's, what's his face, Trudeau. I don't think it's Eric Adams. I don't think it's government. The Knight of Wands is not government. It's definitely not the king. This does not look, it does not look like government, the rock star. It's making it very clear to me we're not dealing with government here, whether it's the US government, the UK government, the Canadian government, not rock star. I know it's not Bryan Adams. Why is that coming into my mind? It could be someone famous, some other, who thinks they're a bit of a rock star. But who would that be? Who's left that thinks Harry's marvellous and they're going to pay? I think it's Harry himself. I think he's having to cough up some of this. Some of you out there might think it's Trudeau. If we're going to point at someone, but I think he would be in terrible trouble if he actually was found to be doing that. I think he's in enough trouble as it is without secretly paying for the has-been to live at the consul's official residence in New York and have Canadian Mounties at the door. Don't think so. I think it's Harry and possibly a mate who's a very famous mate, a Kevin Costnery kind of a person or someone like that, but don't really see it. It doesn't really ring true for me. Is this part of the king trying to protect Harry, bring Harry home while he still can, desperate need to protect these useless ones who can't look after themselves before William takes the reins and ousts them all. Is that what's going on here really? Is it going to happen? And I've got the Prince of Discs, which I would say is the Knight of Pentacles, but it's also going to be the Page of Pentacles. I think we've got pages that are male and female in this tarot, basically. It's telling me that it's like put you on the right path. So it's telling me yes, and it's telling me that it could almost be signed leases, that kind of thing. We've already got Andrew entrenched at Royal Lodge, and it looks like it might have been a whole smoke and mirrors thing, pretending to smoke him out, but actually installing him there for all eternity, while the king still can do that. And the same thing might be going on because there's contractual energy in their leases and stuff like that. There might be, install there has been in this fancy condo in New York, where he can't complain that he's been hard done by. It's royal property, belongs to the king. She can't get her claws on it, and it's a lease for life. And good luck, William, trying to evict him from that if you get your hands on that property at some stage. That might be what is going on, and I know that notion will make some people really angry. It doesn't bother me that much. He's damaged goods, in my opinion. Father's got to be a father ultimately and look after someone. Who else is going to look after this troubled soul? He certainly doesn't seem able to look after himself at the ripe old age of 40, which is a bit terrifying. But there we have it. Sorry about the confusion about the cards, but I think the meaning is clear enough, even though I am a bit confused. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.